last month we did almost 500 grand in just wholesale profit. Our average wholesale fee is like.
It's easier to make a lot of money at once than it is to make a little bit of money over a long period of time. Yep. Don't lock up freaking 5K, 10K deals. Don't do it.
What separates professionals from amateurs or people that are doing a few deals to doing a lot of deals is...
How did last year go? How has this year gone? We're halfway through. We're exactly halfway through of 2025.
So in 2025, we are ahead of our P&L, which is a good thing. 2024, we were not. So just quickly to get you caught up to last year. So I quit my job in 2018. Mm-hmm. So 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 were just massive growth years. Like everything we touched turned to gold. We would set a P&L and we would double our P&L. So we weren't good at tracking. We were growing like crazy. Then 2023 hit. And we set crazy goals, and it was not a good year. 2023 was a tough year for us in all of our businesses. We didn't have one business do well. 2024, we had a couple businesses do well, a couple businesses struggle. So we set a little more realistic P&L. And this year, right now, halfway through the year, we're about 12% above P&L. I think it's the businesses are doing better. We got stronger during the downturns because I don't think unless you own Amazon, it goes like this, right? There's ups and there's downs. So we went through some downs. We got better, but we also got accounting. Our accounting team's 4-5 people now, so we're able to predict and have realistic P&Ls. They were kind of like, I'd like to do this. Now it's like, hey, here's what we're set up to probably do. Here's how far we can stretch it. So it's becoming more of a big boy business, I think. So that's going to be part of it.
So like how much wholesale and flips have you guys done this year in 6 months?
In the 6 months, I can look. I don't know exactly. I know we're on pace to do a little over 300. So
300 flips?
Damn. I think 300 wholesales and flips. So So we flip about 25% of what we buy.
Oh,
the rest
okay.
Of what we wholesale. So we did 28 deals last month. We had 28 deals under contract. So we'll flip 3, 4, 5 of them, 6 of them, and the rest of them will wholesale. So I think we last month we did a record. I think we did almost 500 grand in just wholesale profit, which St. Louis, our average wholesale fee is like 15, maybe 20 grand. So it was a good wholesale month for us.
That's crazy. Yeah. So we just closed a $216,000 wholesale fee.
Goodness gracious. Tell me about that deal.
I don't even want to talk about it, but
Did it close?
Yeah, it closed. It closed.
Okay.
We've had 3 so far this year that were 100 plus.
But you're in Cali, right?
Cali. Okay. Yeah. And then we have one that we have under contract that we're going to try to get like 150 on. So yeah, it's been crazy.
Cali, so you're 80% of that's taxes, so it's really like
I know. But do you know who Myron Golden is?
Myron Golden, yep.
Yeah. So he has this thing, right? He's like, it's easier to make a lot of money at once than it is to make a little bit of money over a long period of time.
Yep.
So I've been taking that mindset to my team, and I'm just hard on them. Like, dude, don't lock up crap. Don't lock up freaking 5K, 10K deals. Like, don't do it. And I'm literally like hard on them. Like, don't do it. Like, don't do it, because those deals end up just dragging on and making this big cluster of just work. And then it just takes away from everyone's focus. So now I'm like trying to just focus on big deals. But we'll see.
I think that's a good point. I think that's in any business. I know a lot of people say, go solve like wealthy people problems or raise your price. I was talking to someone the other day, and they said they had like a $10,000 course, which is about what my community's at. And he's like, I have a $50,000 one as well. Yeah. And he's like, the $50,000 people, they want one nugget here or there. They just want some guy, and they're not asked for their money back. The $10,000 one, they're like, hey, do this everything for me. I just gave you 10 grand. It was half of my savings. Yep. The $50,000 people are like, that was 2 weeks worth of income from this company or this job. Yeah. Just guide me a little bit, give me a nugget here or there, and I'm good. So I think going after the bigger dollar amounts in general is probably a good play. Yeah. And at first I was scared because obviously like the bigger deals we've done, they're like in the 7-figure homes. And before I was like, I don't know, why would anyone take less? They're so smart, blah, 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 blah. But then it just comes down to like, if you see big flips in your market,
it's happening. It's like, rather, are you going to participate or are you not? And I stayed small.
Homes is next for you. So
We'll see.
Your guest house is
we'll see.
Probably.
I think what I'm going to do next is build something. I've never built a house yet, so I'm debating like rather building an ADU on one of my current rental properties or building a house. I don't know. Have you ever built anything?
Just my personal house, a couple of them.
Really?
Not we built onto some self-storage. So we have a few self-storage facilities, and we built about 20,000 square foot of under roof self-storage in one of them. So that's all the building we've done. Never a house.
Yeah. So let's talk about how to scale to 300 transactions, right? I just walked through your office. I'll take a video before I leave so people can see it. It's freaking legit. Like when you walk in, there's like 17 businesses on the wall. I walk upstairs. I'm thinking I'm going to see like a bunch of like suites. Nope. You just walk in. It's just your office, just huge. So like how are you doing 300 wholesales and flips a year?
So it's the team. So it's two main things. So it's the systems and the processes. I think what separates professionals from amateurs or people that are doing a few deals to doing a lot of deals is systems. Like everything is systemized with the people. So the way we get leads, the way we track leads, the way we spend money on marketing, the way we track networking leads. We get half of our buys from networking, half from marketing, almost 50-50. So half of our leads, half of our buys don't come from $1 in ad spend. So it allows us to be a little more efficient. We pay the buyers more for that. But regardless, we have those systems. We have contract to close systems in place. We have Dispo in place. So everything has systems and processes that are in place that have taken, it's not something I feel like you can just copy someone else's systems. Like if I gave you all my systems for my flipping company, not that you'd want them, I don't know that it would work for you. You have to do it to your people, your appetite, what you're looking for. So it took us a few years to figure out what we truly want to be, where we want to spend our marketing money, how many acquisitions reps do we want. We have 5 right now. We're probably going to have 6. We don't want a ton more. So we just figured a lot of things out, and now it's finally starting to really, really take place, because last year we did 260. The year before we did 180. The year before that we did 300. So we've always hovered around 180 to 300 deals, but we're starting to be more profitable because of those systems and processes, and all of those companies you saw. We have a very, very strong COO that manages them. Yeah, I don't manage any of the companies. My business partner Lucas doesn't manage any of the companies. We have a COO, so we have COOs all in place, and we're starting to get systems in place. And again, be that big boy company with accounting and being able to get, on-demand numbers, know exactly where we sit halfway through the month, get the last month closed out within, a week of the month ending, and really be able to see and predict things. So it's just becoming a little bit more professional, I would say, and less like entrepreneurship, solopreneurship, just figuring out small business with your buddies, which is still kind of it, but we're becoming a little more professional. Yeah, I'm going to pull my notes out because you said so much there that I want to touch on. I don't want to forget. So I want to talk about profitability. Okay. I want to talk about why you went from like 300 to 180 to 260. So like big swings. And do you have a COO for each business or one COO that manages? COO for each business. Oh, okay. And then so let's talk about the COO and structure, and then 5 acquisition people to do 300 deals is crazy. That's insane. I want to talk about that too. So, okay, let's talk about just they get paid well, so put it that way. Okay, so let's talk about your org chart for your flipping and wholesaling business. So you have an COO, and then who else do you have? So we have our CEO or visionary over the flipping company, which is my business partner Lucas, and then the COO underneath him. So he's there, he's involved, he's the CEO of a couple of different companies, so he's not full time all day every day into this business. But we have a COO, Matt, who runs the entire flipping company, and he has a sales manager that manages the sales staff and the dispo staff. We have an operations manager that manages contract to close. Marketing's kind of tied up in that as well. And then we have an accounting team of a staff accountant and a accounting clerk to help with that. And then we have the acquisitions reps underneath the sales manager. So that team's about 25 people, and then we have a couple lead managers as well inside of that. Okay, and then the lead managers, they're here, or are they VAs? They're here. They're here. So we have 2 lead managers for our marketing. We have an outbound and an inbound, and kind of nourishing the leads as they go to make sure everybody knows what's going on. Yeah. And then The one we just added was a networking lead manager. Like I said, we do half our deals through networking. It's kind of on the buyers. That's their job, is to get a house, get 4 to 5 houses a month, half from us, half from their network and their lead sources, and they're going out to meetups, they're going to RIAs, they're talking to contractors, they're going talking to other wholesalers, them networking with agents, bring their own lead sources in, and it was just kind of on them, and it worked. But now we're starting to track that. We have a CRM just for that, and then we have a lead manager that's going to help kind of nourish those leads and those relationships as well.
Got it. Okay, so let's just talk about your acquisition process. So you have 5 acquisition people. You want them to get half of their own deals and then half of your deals. Is there like a pay difference? Okay, that's another thing that I've struggled with like doing direct to seller. So we almost have the same business model. Like we're doing a lot of like agent outreach, like networking, people from my social media, all that stuff.
Because you're a social media star, Brian.
I'm trying, Sam. I'm trying so hard. It's just so slow.
We'll talk about that, by the way. I'm starting, not to derail this, I'm starting a mastermind, like a CG or family for social media, to have monthly meetings and twice a month in this office, or twice a year in this office there, to all collaborate, because nobody's doing that for social media. Everybody's on their own.
I know.
Everybody used to go live together and collaborate. Now everybody's social media is down. Everybody.
I know.
Even Hermosi, Cody St. John, they're all down, and everybody's holding it close to the vest, and nobody's sharing their secrets. We're going to get all together. We're all going to share secrets. We're all going to grow together.
That's good.
Sorry, I didn't mean to disrail that. But we're going to help that, because I have 3.5 million followers and I'm a moron. I promise you, people can outdo what I'm doing.
Yeah. So. And another thing too, I've been thinking about trying to figure out some collaboration thing, but we'll come back to that. Okay. So your 5 acquisition people. Yes. I forgot what I asked you.
You just wanted to get into the acquisition.
Okay. You got the 5 people. You want them to do half their own. Oh yeah. Half from your leads. Do they get paid differently? And that's what I was saying. So what I've noticed is like, what I'm paying my acquisition people for these free leads or cheap leads that they're getting, right, from networking and all this stuff, social media, it doesn't seem like I could pay them the same on direct to seller, because direct to seller is so much more expensive than trying to do agent outreach.
15% marketing leads, 25% networking leads.
Okay. Yeah,
that's what we pay them. And again, they have volume, but our average deal is much less than yours, right? Yeah. So I know you probably would maybe teeter them a little bit or have them look a little different, but a lot of people will scoff at how much we pay them, because if they do a lot of deals, they get a lot. But I mean, $20,000 wholesale fee is like, that's crappy for you. That's average for us. So we can't pay them 5%. They're not going to $1,000 to go work their butt off for 3 months and follow up and get a deal. So
quick break from the podcast. I am excited to announce that REI Print Mail has partnered with me to sponsor this podcast. And the great thing about REI Print Mail is they are a company specifically tailored to help real estate investors. They send over 3 million pieces of mail every single month. They can coach you as far as making sure that mail will work in your market. How much do you need to spend, and what kind of pieces do you need to send? So if you're a real estate investor and you want to take your business to the next level, I highly encourage you to check out REI Print Mail, or at least get on a call with one of their coaches to see if mail can work in your market. So go to the link in the description of this video, set up a free 15-minute call where they could break down all the numbers and show you how much you need to spend and how much you can make using direct mail as your marketing strategy. I'm personally working with them, so I know they work. So again, go to the link in the description of this video so you could set up a free coaching call.
I would say our acquisitions guys make between 150 and 300.
Yeah.
So they're not, they're not going to complain. They work hard, but they have flexibility. They like their job, they like the environment, and they're making $200,000 plus $60,000, and they're making $250,000 in St. Louis. They're not gonna. They know that it's gonna be hard for them to go make that somewhere else.
Yeah.
And be the environment they want to be in. A couple of them flip houses on the side, which we have no problem with. So they're making another extra $50,000-$100,000 flipping houses. A couple of them are adding rentals. So we have. In this team you saw upstairs, there's about 350 rental doors, which is really cool. Our team is growing rentals as well. So
How do you set up if people want to flip houses on their own and work at your company?
just let them do it. Get your job done. They buy them from us too. We know about what they're going to sell for. Sometimes there's bidding wars in houses. We're trying to sell stuff for more than we're thinking because a lot of people want them. But we know generally what they'll sell for, and we sell it in-house for that, the people that want to flip it or keep it as a rental. So they're probably getting a little bit of a deal, but we're not giving them for half off. It's like, hey, we bought this house for $150. It'll probably sell for $175 to $180. If we wholesale this out and shop it to our list, do you want it for $180? If not, then we'll shop it. No big deal. If you do want it, you can have it at this. And so we're there's not a set hard and fast rule. We're buying a lot of them, though, so there's plenty for everybody is the good news. We're, buying 25 to 30 a month. There's plenty for everybody.
What about so let's talk about culture, right? How have you built a culture for people to stay and thrive and breed loyalty in your company?
So it starts from the very beginning. About 20, maybe not, probably about 20 of our 55 people we've been friends with. Either they're a couple of people up there I've been friends with some kindergarten, a couple of high school buddies, some college buddies. Lucas, his brother-in-law, runs one of our companies. So we do business with our family and friends. When people say don't do business with your family and friends. So we do business with our family and friends. It has some challenges, but it's got built-in loyalty and built-in they'll run through a wall with us for us. So that there's that side of it. So the fact that we've known them for years and we bring them in, there's the culture right there. There are friends that we've done stuff with at parties in college and grew up playing sports together, and that bond, you can't replace that. So there's that side of it. But then our hiring process is pretty stringent. Like we have they send us applications, we review them, we send them a questionnaire, which is just a filter. It doesn't really matter if they say in the questionnaire. You know how many people apply for a job? You tell them to answer 5 questions and they don't. Yeah. So that's a filtering. Then if that goes well, we do an over the phone interview, then an in-person interview, and then if that goes well, we send them a personality disc assessment. Yeah. They take that, we review it. If that looks good, then we bring them in for a second interview. We go over our questions from the first interview. We go over their personality and skill assessment and say, hey, this is great for this role, or this shows that this is not a good fit. Can you explain? Do you think this is right or wrong? Because it's not 100% accurate. And then we usually will try to grab coffee or lunch or see them outside of the work environment, make sure they're not a dick to the barista because she put too much something in this or that, and then off from the job. So there's a lot of that goes into it. And then we do stuff for our employees. Like we have a wealth building meeting once a month that Lucas hosts that just helps them understand wealth and buying rentals and what that looks like. We do a 401k match up to 4%, and then we do quarterly in-person events. Like we got Olympics going on. We got Office Olympics going on here at the end of July. We do paintball in the fall. We have a holiday party, and then we do bowling. So every quarter. So we do a lot to grow the culture and to bring the right people in, slow to hire, quick to fire kind of thing. Yeah. And just lead by example. And we have our monthly meeting with all the companies meet. We have a coffee truck and food and all that kind of stuff. So we try to have fun and treat them right. Yeah.
What about so I'm struggling with
growing hair on top of your head.
Growing hair on top of my head, that's number one. So if you could fix that, I'd really appreciate it.
AI technology will fix it.
But I'm struggling with, I want to make a ton of money with the least amount of people possible. Okay. Because I don't want to, I'm not a good manager. Okay. I don't like managing. I have a COO that manages, but even watching it sometimes, I'm like, bro, why are we babysitting these grown adults? Why do we have to tell the same? Yeah, exactly. Lack empathy. Yeah. I have empathy, but I also sometimes I'm like, guys, if we have meetings and we're repeating the same damn thing every meeting,
what's the point of having?
Yeah. If you're just not gonna do it, just tell me, and then I'll just shut up. I'll just leave it alone. And there's been times where I'm like, you guys, I'm not even gonna ask you to do this anymore. I just give up. You guys keep doing whatever you want to do. But the risk of having a small profitable team is if someone leaves, then a significant amount of revenue is lost. If you have 3 acquisition people and then 1 leaves, that's a third of your revenue gone. Yep. So how have you faced that issue, and what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing we've done is we've decided that we do want to grow and we want to have more team members, and our overhead is obnoxious, and It's great because if somebody's out or somebody takes vacation, and we have unlimited PTO, by the way, for those, so things like that obviously has to be approved, and we have to make sure that 2 people from the same department aren't off. But we do have people wearing less hats because our team is so big. So the downside is the overhead. The downside is the more people to manage. The upside is people can take off, or if somebody leaves, we're not completely screwed. So Luke's and I take home a little bit less than most people would probably think. I make more money than I thought I would ever make, but probably less than most people think, just because, I mean, several $100,000 in overhead every month to hit.
That's crazy. For just flipping and wholesaling?
No. So for all of our companies.
Yeah.
I mean, we got, I don't know exactly, I would guess between $500,000 and $600,000 in overhead every single month to hit between our companies. And our property management companies, small margins, right? Our rehab and construction company, small margins. Our margins are decent in flipping, and they're pretty good in education when we're selling. So the point is, we have a big nut to cover every month, but there's some stability to knowing that if 1 or 2 people leave, we'll be okay. So I think that's how we do it. Sacrifice a little bit of profit because we're not maybe as efficient. Maybe we could have 10 less people and do similar numbers, but then there's a lot more stress on the people here. So and eventually the goal is to grow and get big enough that you've got 150 employees and doing 10-15 million a month kind of thing.
What do you think is like your profit margins on your flipping and wholesaling company?
That's probably in that like 15% range, I would say.
Oh, okay.
15
total.
20%, yeah.
Okay. But do you think that's healthy for a flipping and wholesaling? 'Cause I thought 30 is like about what I've seen when people scale, they're usually around 30.
Yeah, so probably, I mean, St. Louis is a lower price market, so there's one. I mean, the chunks are less, and we pay our acquisition people a lot more than most. So when we, and this drives me crazy, but again, you asked me all these flipping questions, and I know most of it, but I haven't been to a flipping meeting in 2 years. So I just see the numbers because every Monday morning, all of our COOs meet with Lucas and I and our CFO, and we kind of go over the numbers of the businesses, kind of like a little it's just a executive team meeting, ET meeting. So I do know a little bit, but all these so that's why I know most of your answers, but not all of them. But anyways, regardless, when we buy a house, we got our acquisitions rep gets 15-25%. We got our sales manager gets a few percentage of that. We got our marketing gets incentives if it comes from marketing. We got our lead if the lead team sets the appointment, they get a little bit of it. We have our dispo guy gets a little bit of it. So it's fine, but it just gets eaten out. So that's why the margins are less. But if we're able to we've done the math, if we're able to hit that 200 number, then it's pretty damn profitable. 200 houses.
Okay.
So there's, because your overhead's somewhat fixed. So the margins do go up as we buy more. We don't have to hire and bring more people in. So if we get to 300, I would guess that margin is probably in the mid 20s. We get to 350, it's probably closer to that 30. So it's all because that year we did 180 houses. We barely made any damn money. And then we did 260, did pretty good, and this year we're on pace to do pretty well. We just had our first $1 million quarter, which has been pretty cool.
That's a lot. That's a lot, $1 million quarter.
So things are, the market. St. Louis is hot though. It was, I think Zillow and a couple different companies had it top 10. So St. Louis is a hot market right now.
Yeah,
because we don't get the dips. Like Vegas is, I would assume, I'd struggle a little bit like the coast.
Oh yeah, right now Vegas is dead.
But it was, what was it, 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
It was hot.
Yeah. So St. Louis was kind of hot a couple years ago and still kind of hot. So that's why it's just a stable. I know you coastal people like to make fun of us here in the Midwest. But I love it because it's steady. Yeah,
so like I'm out here because I'm in St. Louis. For everyone that watches me, I am not in Las Vegas right now.
Randy behind. That's why I did that, just so I can send pictures of your face.
Guys, fasterfreedom.com. No, but seriously, check it out though. But I'm out here because my wife's dad, he lives in Kentucky. It's actually southern Indiana, but I like to say Kentucky.
Yeah, sounds
yeah. And he has a tumor in his brain. So he came out here. They removed part of his tumor. They couldn't remove all of it, but
in the brain, you're saying
it's in his brain. Okay. And they are giving him steroids. He got some radiation, but now he's at home, and he's 85. So my kids are out of school, so I was like, you know what? We're just going to go to Kentucky and spend the summer there.
Love that.
So we've been here for like 3 weeks. We're going to be here for another few weeks until the kids are about to go back to school. And during this time, I'm like, okay, let me like learn about the Midwest.
What do you think about the Midwest?
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. Yeah, exactly. Dude, Louisville is beautiful. Or Floyd Knobs, Indiana is beautiful, bro. I'll show you videos and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm out here like, I probably look like the dumbest guy, but I'm out here in the woods like, wow.
Well, that's your face. You can't control that.
But the woods out here.
I like to make fun of them. It's fine.
Oh, yeah. The woods are insane. I was like, this is beautiful. I found a tick on me, which is crazy.
That's
I was,
fun. Good for you. You got your first
yeah. I was like, oh, shit. You know? So, but anyways, so I'm learning about the real estate market out here. And I'm like, okay, should I just start buying rentals out here? I actually did start buying rentals in the Midwest in Kansas City.
Okay.
But I'm like, okay, should I do St. Louis? Should I do Louisville? We'll talk about rentals.
You should do St. Louis because we can manage them for you. We can do the whole thing for you.
Okay, well, I seriously want to talk about that.
We do.
I'm dead serious. Like, I really want to talk about that. Okay, so back to real estate. So 5 acquisition people. Anything else you think we got to cover with the acquisition people? How long does a typical acquisition person stay with you guys?
I would say we have one guy that's been with us for 6 years, another guy that's been with us for 2. We have a couple of newer guys. I would say the average is probably 2 to 3 years.
Okay, got it. Okay. And anything else you think we need to cover for what kind of sales training do you give them?
So there's like the daily huddles, obviously all those type of things, and they talk about their deals together, and then I think we've got Jeremy Miner sales training.
Okay, use Jeremy Miner.
And we've had Steve Trangs. We've done every couple of years. They seem to buy a new like, there's obviously training videos.
Yeah.
They do role play, but then there's also like the calls you attend and learn strategy. So we're always I always joke with my sales managers like, you don't underwrite the deals, and we hire out the training. What do we pay you? So much for.
Yeah. Okay, so what does the sales manager do?
So the sales manager hosts the daily huddles, hosts one-on-ones, goes out on appointments, and just kind of keeps them going, keeps them motivated, and he buys houses too as well. So the other side of that 300 houses is, I would say, 40 or 50 houses are going to come from the COO. He's got connections, so he'll buy a few houses a year. The sales manager will probably buy 10, 15 houses through their connections.
For your company.
Yeah.
You're not saying for themselves.
Everything they have to buy has to go through us.
Yeah.
So
okay,
they have to run it through us. We can work on the margins and not mark it up a ton, but everything they have to buy through us, even if they're keeping it for themselves.
Okay, got it.
And then other team members will occasionally come across a house and they'll either buy it or run it through acquisitions rep. So that's part of it. I would say of the 300 houses we'll buy this year, hopefully more. Let's say that. I bet 250, 260 come from the acquisition team. The other will come just from ancillary buys.
Got it. Okay, so he's just running day to day. Okay, let's transition to Dispo. Okay. So, like, what is your Dispo process, and like, how many Dispo people do you have? One for that many houses? Do you think that's good?
So he has some help on the team. He has a VA to support for a lot of the smaller things, and then he has some help from one of the lead managers, helps him out a little bit. But he's the one developing the relationships. I mean, he works a ton. He's one of those like he's one of my buddies I met in kindergarten. He's one of those guys that remembers everyone's home phone numbers and like everybody's license plate numbers. He's like a savant, probably some form of autism on the spectrum. He's like super, which is fine. My wife tells me I got a touch of autism too. It's fine. But she's an occupational therapist, so she's professional. She knows. But Andrew is our Dispo rep. He's got, we all got things systemized, but it's just him. If we do much more than 300, we're going to need somebody else. But he's doing a lot of them.
That's crazy. Do you feel like you're leaving money on the table because you only have one Dispo rep?
Maybe I can ask him again. I don't know. I'm not in those. On those meetings, so I would hope not. That's part of what we do. Is the reason we have all those companies, because we truly divide and conquer. I kind of am over top of a few. Luke's over top of the other. I just see the top line numbers of the companies. That's it. I don't know. Again, I haven't been in a meeting, a weekly, monthly, or quarterly meeting for the flipping company in over 2 years. So I do not know the intricate details on it.
Yeah. What about like we could bleep this out, but like how much do you pay your Dispo rep?
So our Dispo rep, you can keep any of this. I think he got between 500 and 1,000 a deal.
Okay.
That he sells.
Because he's doing volume.
Yeah, he's doing volume, and then now I think he gets a percentage.
Okay, got it.
The percentage of it. So he's going to make around 150 probably, I would guess.
Okay, got it. Yeah, because I see. So my business model is very similar to New Western.
Okay.
Very similar. So we have, more acquisition people. Right now we have 2 main acquisition people and then pretty much like 4 lead managers that are like getting leads and then giving them to the closers or whatever. I'm going to bring on a 3rd closer because of the risk of only having 2.
Yep, I think that's smart.
But on the dispo side, I have like in-house and what would I call outhouse? I don't know. So I have like, let's just say you were an outhouse person. I would say, hey, Sam, we're going to send you all of our deals. The number that we set, you're going to get paid a percentage on that. Okay. So let's just say it's 10%, right? You cannot put money on top and split the difference or whatever the hell. We're sending you our deals. You go dispo, you get a percentage. Our in-house person gets paid less percentage, but they get to use our investor lift. They're like our in-house person. So
they get to use your resources.
They get to use all of our resources. They're our main dispo rep. But
how do you split up who gets what?
They all get everything.
Okay.
Yeah. So she gets. So our dispo rep right now her name is Brianna. When we get shout out Brianna, hit her up. So let's just say we get a contract today. They'll send it to me. I'll set a price. I'll say $950, right? Then I'm like, okay, Brianna, sell this deal for $950. Post it on Investor Lift. Hit our CRM. Hey Sam, we have this deal for $950. Sell it. Hey Brittany, we have this deal for $950. Hey Cecilia, we have the deal for $950. Go sell it. And what I'm thinking about doing is bringing up more out. What should I call it? Outbound.
You call it outbox? No, outside.
Outside.
Outhouse.
We'll call outhouse or outside.
Like somewhere you go pee and poop outside, but outhouse.
Or we can say outside dispo reps.
Okay.
Outside dispo reps.
External's probably
just the
external.
Best, okay, external. Yeah.
We got there.
Yeah. But I'm thinking about bringing in more external dispo reps so that way, like, I have more people shopping the deals. But I'm also thinking and actively doing is bringing in VAs that are going to be in-house dispo reps and selling our deals, because what I'm noticing is just like the more deals we do, like margins just start to get compressed because like you said, it's like, okay, now we have lead managers and then we have a dispo rep and then we have a junior dispo rep and and then I'm like, dude, like, if I want to net $1 million. That's my goal. I want to net $1 million. Yep. At our current formula, I could do that if we do about $2 million. Okay. Right?
That's good margins.
It's great margins, but it's because I'm starting to be like, okay, like, how do I I can't go out and hire a dispo rep and pay him 15%. I can't pay acquisition people 25%. Because marketing is going up in real estate. It's not. And then losses and all the crap that happens. So what is your thought process on what I'm trying to do?
Yeah, I like it. It's just, it goes back to that. You can be more profitable with less people, but that just puts strain on if somebody leaves. That's an interesting way to do dispo. We have our buyers list that we have, 3,500 people here locally that, get the emails that go out. We have our website, Faster Deals, and then we have our dispo guy who kind of knows and built relationships with people that he knows buy in this area and do this, so kind of not pre-shop it, but shop it to them a little bit. I don't think it's a bad idea. Trying to get 50% margin on a flipping company is crazy. I wonder if you're going to. I'm not saying
we're doing it. We're doing it right now. I'm actually at 56%, but. Yeah,
that is wild. If you're doing it, I've never heard of any margins that high. I just wonder how sustainable it is, but maybe it is if you're not trying to get to 4 million.
Exactly. I'm not chasing. So this is another thing since 2020, right? I running an education company and then running a flipping and wholesaling company. I've always been like revenue driven, and now I am profit driven. Like any decision I make, I am considering the profit first. Before it was like, I want to get us to 7 figures a month in education. 7 figures a month. We're gonna spend $350,000 on this webinar. if it's going to get us to 7 figures, let's do it. Like, I was just so revenue
You'll
driven.
make $1 million, but you'll spend you $950,000 to get there.
And we've done it, and I've done that. So,
I get it. No, yeah. It's like we hit $1 million, but we didn't make any damn money.
Yeah. Honestly, I've done that even with flipping. I'm like, I want to flip 50 houses. If we got to do a 20K flip, we're going to do it. And then I did it, and then I'm like, ugh, like, I don't want to do that again.
Do you think that's just the nature of the beast, or you think because the market has shifted, right? You used to be able to kind of everything. I'm sure you went through it. Almost everything you did was just a home run. Just
exactly.
There was so much momentum. We had tailwinds. Now we have headwinds. So you think it's that and your mindset, or you think it's just mainly your mindset?
I think it's mindset. I think it's also just experience. I mean, like, everything's easier in hindsight, right? Like, like flipping houses to make 20K is dumb. I don't know if you guys still do that, but
no, we don't try to do that. No, I mean, it happens, but that's not the goal.
Yeah. Well, before, my goal was, if I could make at least 20K, I'm flipping this house. But then obviously you take losses, you see market shifts, you see people go bankrupt, and then you're like, okay, I can't do it. Yeah. Or just like even ego, like, oh, I want to be the top buyer. This wholesaler's putting me up against Sam. I'm going to get this deal. Now it's like, dude, that wholesaler's not my clientele. And that's another thing I've actually learned from New Western. I was listening to the owner of New Western, and he says he'll go to events, and some people are like, oh, you sell bad deals, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, those aren't my clientele. Yeah. And that's okay. Like, if he's buying our deal, we made a mistake. Because I know Sam's buying deals to net 60 grand when there's other buyers that will do it for 20. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just business maturity, honestly. It's like ego, business maturity, the market shifting, where it's like now you can't take these huge risks like before. So yeah,
entrepreneurship is wild, man. It's so fun and so frustrating. So many highs, so many lows. It's quite the journey, but that's we're all kind of psycho. That's why we do it. Yeah.
So like, are you noticing like the longer that you're an entrepreneur, there's less big swings? Because I feel like my business right now, I feel like every change is little. It's not like there's not like huge changes that I'm doing and huge swings.
Yeah, I would say for all my businesses except education, all the other businesses are all slight tweaks, introducing AI here. We have I think we have some CRM that we use for our property management, and there's like an AI leasing agent that's part of that. I don't know if it's Propertyware. What is it? No, we had Buildium. I think it's property. I don't even know. So that's I haven't been to a property management meeting in 3 years, maybe 4. So anyways, regardless, we're tweaking most of our businesses, which just trying to get efficiency, trying to get predictability. And then, education, a little bit different animal. That's been just like a freaking tidal wave up and down. So.
Yeah. How do you like the education business? And then we'll get back to real estate.
I liked it for a while. Now it sucks. So we looked back and figured out. So I started education like 2021. Yeah. And the first year it was October of 2021, and we had made net, I don't know the gross number, netted like 80 grand that year. Okay. I was just starting, not knowing we were selling like $2,500 product. I remember that. Marketing. I was like trying to sell over the phone, which you'd think the owner, the guy that's on, but I suck at selling. And I didn't believe in the product, I don't think, because it hadn't been proven yet, like how we set it up. And then we did a webinar, and that in November, we had 280 people on the webinar. 80 booked calls out of the 280 people in the webinar.
That's big.
And we did like 20 sales. And we netted like 200 grand that month. And I'm like, wait, what? And then the next 2 years we would do webinars, 1,000 people on, 200 booked calls. Like
wow.
We were just blowing.
1,000 people on a webinar? That's crazy.
Consistently.
Yeah.
I didn't want to oversaturate my audience that was growing, so we did ads, but I did them every other month. Looking back, I should have done them every week. Freaking day.
Yeah.
Like legitimately, we netted 200 to 300 grand every webinar we did.
Yeah.
And that was when our product was 5K and everything was blowing and going and everything was good. And we're like marketing, we're spending 50, 75 grand a month in marketing. We're making, 5, 6, 700 grand a month. Everything's great. Well, we started to look back when things slowed down, and 80% of our signups came from organic. Like my organic audience, we talked about it. It didn't pay for any of it. It was legitimate from 0 to 3.5 million in like 2 years, 3 years. And we rode that organic wave, and marketing never worked. And now that organic wave has slowed down, the growth, especially on Instagram and a couple platforms, is pretty stagnant. The same people are seeing it. Before, it didn't matter. Every single month, I would get 50 to 100,000 new followers. So it was new people seeing it, and I didn't monetize it because I thought it would go forever. I did, but I should have stepped on the gas more. Now that social media slowed, paid traffic sucks, and we're like, so we're trying to redo the model now. So we talked a little bit about it earlier. I mean, we went the longest ever in the history, even back when we weren't making very much money because our product was $2K. We went 10 days without a sign up.
Dang.
I mean, we had 80 signups in January. Yeah. And we just went 10 days without one. So we're rethinking the model on education right now, just how to get people in. Our show-up rate's low. So everything. So anyways, education's kind of up and down, and, $700,000 this month, $200,000 the next month, so kind of unpredictable. But the other businesses are pretty steadily growing. Yeah.
What's your goal with your flipping and wholesaling company?
So the flipping and wholesaling company, it's like, so we call it our like diesel locomotive. It's our local brand. We truly believe we help people. We're buying distressed houses. We have half the people crying at the closing table because we got them out of an eviction or not eviction or foreclosure or tax liens. Like, we're helping people by wholesaling the houses and flipping them and letting the market decide the price or renting them out. So it's kind of our local brand. It provides a good amount of rentals for me. Luke's and I, he picks off the ones that we want to keep as rentals. So it's providing rentals to me, it's providing rentals to the team, and it's providing like a service for the community. And it's a great local brand. That's our diesel locomotive. We call our education company our Ferrari. It's, fast moving. And so that,
but it breaks and it's expensive.
So that's why we have the one, and we'd like to have both, because in 2022, 2023, the flipping company did horrible. Yeah. An education company, we carried the bacon for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally, the education company was paying for Lucas and myself, like what we needed to make. Yeah. Right now, education is slow, but flipping company's crushing. So that's the reason we have multiples, is because we're not good enough entrepreneurs, or it's not possible to just have them all humming, or the market's not ready, whatever it is. So at least a couple of them hum, and everybody can make a living. I can do okay. And then if we ever get them all humming, that'd be great.
Yeah. I had the exact same thing. So 2022... when interest rates rose, my education sustained everything. And then now my real estate is what's doing everything.
So it must be kind of industry driven, which it's frustrating that like we're not good enough to win despite the market. You know what I mean?
I have a story for that.
But it's just frustrating. It's like, am I not good enough of an entrepreneur that I can't win despite the market really dictates what I do? It sucks to not be in control, because my education company made 8 times what the flipping company made in 2022, and so it was going bananas. And now it's there's not that much of a difference, but it's probably triple. The flipping company's making triple the education.
Yeah.
All right. Your story.
I'm gonna tell you 2 stories. Okay. All right, this is great. Okay, so I was a realtor 2016. Okay. Not 2016, 2016, right?
That'd be a long time in the
That'd
future.
be so long ago, right? My original mentor, his name was Craig Tan. Love this guy.
Okay.
Literally the best human being I've ever met. I wish I could be like him. I remember he was talking about interest rates when I was a new agent. And he was like, when interest rates go up, the market goes down. And then somebody was like, oh, but you're so badass, you dictate the market, And he was just like, no, like when interest rates go up, the market goes down. And I was like young, and I was like, okay, like I remember this, right? Fast forward, interest rates went up when Trump was president the first time. And
like 18 they went up.
18. I remember I had a listing board. I had like 10 listings, right? I was like, hell yeah, 10 listings, 10 active listings. This is going to be great. A week later, I'm like, damn, I still have 10 active listings. Like, that's kind of weird. Usually there's like half go in escrow. Next week, I was like, all my listings are active. Like literally nothing. No showings. The weekend would go, not a call. I was like, damn, I have to, because I left the team. I was like, I have to get the prices down. Every week, I would call the 10 listings and get the prices down and be like, hey, no showings, no showings. They would start to sell. And I felt like, oh, like the market can shift. I thought I was a badass with a BMW and a nice suit and good teeth.
And hair.
And hair at the time. But it didn't matter. It didn't matter. The market determines pricing. 18,
not 18 was like a silent little, like everybody felt all of a sudden overnight. It was like, wow, what the hell just happened?
Exactly. So that happened, and I was a realtor. Thank God, right? So then when 2020 came, they lowered interest rates to 0 or whatever they did, right? And Ryan, Ryan Pineda was like, dude, buy everything you can. This is when we get rich. He told me that. I was like, are you sure? Freaking COVID-19, blah, 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 blah. But I did it, and that's where I made majority of my wealth. Guys, if you want to do more deals, you have to learn how to raise money. And one of the best tools to raise money is Fractional.app. It does all your paperwork for you. It does all your tax prep. It does all your agreements with your investors. You could raise money from unaccredited investors. You could raise money on the platform, and you could even pay out your investors on the platform. So if you're a real estate investor or business owner, or maybe you want to do a JV deal on marketing, use Fractional.app. Go to the link in the description of this video, sign up for the website, and go through it and learn how people like Pace Morby have already raised $400 million using the platform. So take a break from the video, go to the description of this video, and fill out the link. They're like, hey, 2022 interest rates are going to go up, right? I was like, okay, I have to stop buying. I have to stop buying. I told everyone in our community, I was like, guys, like, I honestly, like, I hate to say it, like, don't buy. I would get off coaching calls and students would be like, Brian's scaring us, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, guys, like, the crap that was working before, it doesn't work. Honestly, I've seen so many people go bankrupt. I've seen so many people lose other people's money. I've seen people just get out of the industry. So the market does dictate how real estate businesses do. You cannot be such a badass that you just F the market. I'm freaking Sam Prim.
Either way,
it doesn't work like that. And then I remember that was my first story. Second story, I was watching Alex Hormozy's yearly review. It was like an old video. It was like from years ago on a Zoom, like ghetto looking. He talked about some of his businesses were seasonal, and he would be like, oh, this is so stupid. This business makes this much. Let's say it makes $1 million in December and then $500K the rest of the year. I can't figure it out. And then he came to the conclusion. He's like, hey, this business is seasonal. And 90% of businesses are seasonal. Like, you just have to accept it and do with it what you can. You can't beat the market. So that was my two stories.
Yeah, I think it goes to what like a lot of smart people say. It's like you can't control what happens, but you can control how you react. So prepare for it and just be able to adapt when need. I know novations was a big thing. Sub 2 is a big thing right now because interest rates are where they're at. So yeah, it's just one of those things where the Burr method will have it stay in the sun again. The VSL to booked call to close will have it stay in the sun again. It's just cyclical. You just have to figure it out while a lot of people are falling off. Because I know flipping companies going out of business. I know a ton of educators that have stopped. So just as long as you can survive, and all those smart people like Hormozy articulate much better than us, but they're like, just outlast them and you're going to win.
Exactly.
And I think that's the phase I'm in education right now.
Yeah. So. And I think as far as like real estate, what I've learned is like I used to identify as a house flipper. I was like, I flip houses. I'm a house flipper. I'm not a wholesaler. Wholesalers are freaking...
Wholesalers are losers.
Yeah. They're leaving money on the table. They're retarded. And no, like now I'm like mainly a wholesaler. Like
you're just a real estate investor.
Yeah. I'm a real estate investor, but every deal now that comes in, I'm trying to wholesale it.
Yeah.
And then if my team is like, this would be a good flip, I'm like, no, the market will determine if this is a good flip. If I try to wholesale it and I'm getting crazy high offers, then it's a good flip. If I try to wholesale it and no one wants it, that doesn't mean it's a good flip. That means it's actually a bad flip. Like I have to like convince my team like, hey guys, look, if no one's offering,
that means it's a bad deal.
That means we're not seeing something.
How's the market How's the market in California? Is it better than Vegas?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's very interesting because we could talk about real estate markets now. So real estate in Las Vegas, I would say 6 to 12 months ago, I was already hearing people saying like, the market is slow, the market is slow. My flips were all sitting in Vegas and I'm like, what the hell? Like, it's so weird. Like this started last year. I was like September, August, like in good months. I'm like, why is everything sitting? I ended up selling all my inventory, most of them for losses. I was like, I'm just going to wait. It just got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And like right now, it's just bad. Like the real estate market's bad. But Southern California was good last year. And now it is slowly starting to hear like wholesalers complaining about not selling deals. So slower and flippers are like, yeah. So it's like, I don't know why, but it started in Vegas first and then has reached California.
Well, Vegas was hotter for a while, right?
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things where like I feel like the country kind of it's all about lot where people are moving, supply and demand, and it's localized, but the country kind of like inhales and exhales. Like for a while, everybody's moving to the Midwest and the Southeast. So the country went there. So Texas was hot, Florida was hot, Georgia was hot. Like it was insane. North Carolina, Charlotte, all those were crazy hot. Atlanta blew up.
Yep.
Everywhere in Texas blew up. Now Texas is getting crushed. Florida is getting crushed.
Yeah.
So I feel like Vegas was kind of like, I don't know, it doesn't really matter if it's blue or red, but I feel Vegas was kind of a little bit more like that. People were kind of moving there, getting away from the coast.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, the coasts are, I guess Southern California's may be different, but the coasts are a little bit hotter, and like this kind of south, especially in the southeast, are cold. So, and that'll come back too in 3 or 4 years. I think we got all the hurricanes, we got the cost of insurance, we got all of those things happening down there that are affecting people that move there, and like, this heat sucks. I'm going to go back to where Utah or back to Northern California where I came from. So anyways, I think it's all cyclical, and it's just kind of an inhale and an exhale. I think it's pretty natural.
What I think is weird is that like Southern California and Las Vegas are both slow, right? But the house values are still going up. Year over year, the values are up. So I'll tell you another story, right? So
you're just a storyteller.
I'm like Dr. Seuss over here.
There you
go.
go.
Couple years ago, like 2 years ago, 2023, I got into a cash crunch, right? I was like low on capital. I had paid a bunch of money in taxes. A whole bunch of my freaking dog almost died. I paid like a whole bunch of unexpected expenses came up. So I was like, crap, I'm going to have to sell some rentals. Like I got really low on money. Like I started having to like borrow money from family because it was like bad. I had 3 fourplexes in Las Vegas. I bought them for like $250, $300, and $400, right? And I sold them. And now those same multi-units are worth $600 to $700K right now, literally. And I'm like, freak, dude. Like I should have held. I thought because the market was bad that prices would be stagnant or maybe go down, but they've just gone up. So like, does that how real estate work?
I think we're in a little bit different of a cycle right now, because I'm one of the people where I think that I like to not have recency bias and understand that everything happens. Like nothing's happening now that has to happen before. Everybody acts like they're the worst times, the best of times. AI is going to take over humanity, and we're all doomed to think the history of the world that we're at the apex is just, I think, egotistical. But anyways, regardless, I think what's happening right now is a little bit different. To say all that is, I think the fact that supply is so low. Like, remember what interest rates did in 2018? They went up like a half a point, and it crushed the market. Interest rates went up like 3 points, and the market didn't get crushed because supply is so low. So I think, and right now there's more listings than buyers, but that just means that activity is low. We are still in a low supply mode right now. We still need 3 million more houses to keep up with population. So I think that the baked in low supply and baked in demand of people having to move, need to move, lost a husband or wife and they're older, so they get moved into assisted care facility, or you have kids and you have to buy a bigger house, or you get a job and you move, or your kids move out and you want to downsize. There's always baked in demand in real estate. And then the supply is so low. Affordability is really bad right now with interest rates and the cost of insurance and the cost of taxes and everything. So I just think we're in a little bit of a weird time. As soon as interest rates go down a little bit, I think the market's going to boom again. So any other time I can think of, and I've done research where interest rates do what they did, the market would have crashed 10 times worse in 2008. But we had low supply. So there's just, it can only go so low if the supply is low, because there's always going to be, we used to have 50 people bidding on a house. 10 of them had cash to pay, so the house's prices went up. Now you have 10 people bidding on a house, 5 people, but there's still going to be somebody built in there that has cash that cannot make the price go too low because they need to buy it. So that's my take on it, is the little hidden mixture to why prices haven't fallen off a cliff is supply is too low, and that has nothing to do with activity of people that are listing their houses and people aren't buying. People want to buy, they need to buy, they will buy soon, but they're just waiting for something to give. Either affordability, inflation, interest rates, whatever it is, they needed to come down a little bit.
What about so let's transition to just general entrepreneurship. How old are you again?
I'm 37.
And how many companies do you have?
6.
6 companies. Okay. You're 37. Damn, you're young, dude. So
you're younger than me.
I am younger than you, but I don't have 7 companies, so that's crazy.
6.
6 companies. So what about, where do you see your future as an entrepreneur?
So I think there's a couple things I'm looking at doing. So we want to grow the companies that we have, but if I want to get to the point where I'm, worth several $100 million or whatever that looks like, I don't think it's going to happen with, how many house flipping wholesale companies do you know that are worth $75 million? None, right? How many? I mean, education,
maybe New Western, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, but they're nationwide, right?
Yeah.
How many
Education.
even those types of things.
Yeah.
So it's going to have to. Where I want to get these companies stabilized, but I think where we're going to really, really grow is getting into the software space or getting into, manufacturing. We looked at like a nut and bolt factory up in Troy, Missouri, which is like 45 minutes north. So something like that, using our resources into like a scalable business.
Yeah.
I always joke with Lucas, we're going to make our hundreds of millions in a company we haven't even started or haven't bought or don't even know where it is right now. So I think we can get pretty far with where we have, but property management company, we have 500 doors. It makes a little bit of money every month. It's predictable. The risk is low.
You could sell it.
Yeah, we could sell it, but not for that much. And same with and the education company. It's unfortunately it's all me. Like I'm the face, the name, the brand. So if I go away, the education company goes away.
It's not worth anything.
So you can't. The EBITDA's on that, or the factors on that is 2, right? I could 1 or whatever we made this year. Maybe I could sell it for double. Maybe it's not like a 10x. So that's where I want to get into the software space or something like that. And we have a software company that we started called Real Books that's coming out here soon. We're looking at like a roofing company, so that does sealing of commercial buildings, like 50, 60, 70, 100,000 square foot buildings. So that things like that, I think, is what's going to take us to the next level. But I'm dabbling in those because my other active companies need my attention right now. So.
Yeah. I think so. What I've learned being in the Midwest is a couple things. So one,
toasted ravioli. Did you have that last night?
Yes.
Good.
Which one?
Toasted ravioli.
Yes.
You had that
Yeah.
before?
The pizza was trash. What was the pizza called? Omis?
Emos.
Emos.
It's the Pro Val you don't like. Did you have toasted ravioli though? That's good.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. The ravioli was good. Do they have cheese ones? I want to go back and see. I'm going to go back and get the cheese ones.
Yeah, they have cheese ones.
The pizza was terrible. Omis. Garbage.
Emos. It's an acquired taste.
It's an acquired taste.
Dave Portnoy came out and did like a pizza review on it.
Yeah,
He's like,
I watched
this is like a cracker.
It is a cracker, and it tastes like orange, tangy sauce. Like the cheese was terrible, honestly.
Yeah. The
sweet and spicy one, that was good.
Okay.
I ate the whole. I'll go get one of those before I leave. Regular Omis,
gotta get
terrible.
Gooey butter plate. Gooey butter cake. All right. What did you learn from being in the Midwest?
2 things.
Okay.
All right. So first, right, home services are way bigger over here. Like over here, I drive around where I live, someone's getting a roof, like a lot. And then people have signs of roofing companies, and like roofs obviously just don't last as long over here.
Well,
and
you got hail, you got wind.
Exactly.
We get 0 degrees. We get 100 degrees. There's just a lot of shit that goes on.
I didn't know that. So like I was like, damn, dude, like literally there's just like a handful of houses in my father-in-law's neighborhood, and he has a really nice house, that are getting the roofs done. Where in Vegas, like you never, like I maybe once a year I see like.
We don't get hail. You don't get tornadoes,
exactly.
All the wind that we
you
get
only
here.
see it when we have heavy rains once or twice a year. We call it tarp season. Besides that, you rarely see roofs. So I was like, okay, home services over here is bigger because there's way more bugs and the weather, right? So that's including pests, roof, dry rot.
Foundations. There's about half the foundations in St. Louis have some type of crack in them just because of the soil.
Yeah, so I feel like if I lived out here, I would definitely try to do a roofing company because it seems like high ticket and there's like hella demand. That's the first thing I learned. Second thing I learned was from my father-in-law. So my father-in-law, got to give him some flowers. This guy's 85 years old.
Give him some flowers. Give that man his flowers.
I'm giving him his flowers. His name's Robert Howard. Shout out to Robert.
Go Rob.
Came here from Mexico.
Okay.
Right? Illegally. But got amnesty. Okay. So now he's legal, right? This guy used to sleep in a bed with 7 of his siblings, right? Craziest story ever, right? He started a bottling company. So he started making bottles for one of his friends, right? His friend started an oil type company, started making bottles, right? In California, Southern California.
Okay.
His friend came out here to Kentucky and started building a factory. So Robert came out here and built a factory right next to his friend's company, right? His friend's company grew. His name is Forrest Lucas. He owns Lucas Oil.
Okay.
And then
Heard that name.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Forrest Lucas Stadium, all that stuff. So Robert's company grew. I went to Robert's company. I'm not gonna say his number, but all his kids work for Robert. All of his kids. I'm the only husband of a wife of one of his children that doesn't work for him. So long story short, he has a big factory. All his kids and his kids, wives, and husbands work for them. Me and one other girl don't, but everyone else does, right? He doesn't have to be there. He's at home recovering from brain surgery, and the factory's just freaking going. The factory's just going, bro. Like literally, and all his kids are on salary. They all have nice houses. I've been to their houses, beautiful houses. He built something that was just, it's sustainable. It's just beautiful. You're just like, dang, like, dude, if I could do anything, it would be this.
That's more scalable. That's more sellable than art. That's what I'm talking about. Getting into something like that. But that's the nuts and bolts thing. Look, that's what I feel like you have to get into.
Exactly.
To do that.
Yeah, that's what I've learned. Where I'm like, dude, like, if I go down, my flipping and wholesaling is done. If I go down, my social media is taking a huge hit right now because I don't have a podcast studio where I'm at. I'm not in the time. I don't have the time to sit here and like do all this crap. So like as soon as I stop, social media just dies. So I'm like, okay, I have to, and this is the hard part. How do we figure this out? But like, I have to build something that's sustainable. No, not the social media. Okay, right. I want to get off of social media, but I want to do this, but not worry about like, is this making money? Like, how do I monetize this? I want my business to be where I make money, and this is like a project. But
this will probably make more money if you have that attitude, by the way.
Yeah. But long story short, that's what I've learned from being here is like, how do I build something where like if I go down, it's still going and no one even knows. No one that goes to the store and buys a bottle from Howard Packaging, they don't know Robert. They don't know. They need the oil. That's it. So how do you transition to actually doing that? Because Alex Hermosi says you need focus, right? And if you're running these 7 businesses that you think aren't really worth focusing on, how will you transition to focusing on the big thing?
Yeah, I'm figuring that out. I wish I knew the answer. I would already done it. Well, part of what we've done is, I am kind of over top and managing a few of the companies Luke's over. So we've divided and conquered. So again, I don't go to the meetings of a few companies. He doesn't go to the meetings of a few companies. So having a good partner helps with that. So if I went away, the flipping company, the rental company, the property management company would do fine. If I went away, they do fine. The other companies that I kind of help run, they wouldn't do fine. So I think getting those companies sustainable, trying to come up with a business model that's not, hey, I need to get 20 10K signups to break even and everything to just to get to a more sustainable model, which I'm working on. Because if I were to focus as much time as I do on Faster Freedom on this roofing company, which by the way I think could be, it's doing a sealant on top of a 100,000 square foot commercial building that lasts for 20 years. It's environmentally friendly. It saves them on energy savings. They don't have to tear off the roof and do a new one. So it's environmentally friendly. So if I could focus that, I think that company would do 10 times what Faster Freedom does.
Obviously, yeah.
But Faster Freedom, so far down the line, I got to get it to a point where I can focus on that.
Yeah. But how will you ever do that?
I'm working on. It's possible. I have to.
Who have you seen do it?
I have to start to give. I don't know if I've seen people do it in this space. Bigger Pockets, Brain and Soul. That's not part of it all. Something like that. Not that I want to get that big, but
it wasn't an education company.
It's more of a software company.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that's what we'll do. Faster Freedom. Maybe make it more of a software company.
Yeah.
So something like that to get it, and not try to make. I was wanting to make a net $1 million a month with Faster Freedom.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
That's going to be way too much freaking work. So get it to where it's sustainable and growable, and then kind of focus on some of these other businesses and this Real Book software company too as well. So we're kind of bringing them along, limping them along until I have the time. So I don't know the answer. I wish I knew, Brian.
Do you think you're going to end up just letting Faster Freedom go?
No,
I don't want to talk about it on the podcast, but
no, I don't think we will. I think because I don't do the coaching calls.
Yeah.
I don't do any of the fulfillment. So
but you have to do all the promotion.
Yeah, for a certain degree, but the social media is not bringing anybody in. 1 month, March of 2022, we had 98 organic signups. 98 in 1 month, and now we had 5 last month. So if the social media slows down a little bit, or who cares? We need to figure out how to scale with ads, and then.
But you're gonna have to film the ads.
But that's. I mean, that's an hour a month, 2 hours a month. That's not that bad. And this.
But it's not. I'm sorry, but it's not.
What? The ads aren't that bad. Everything else.
But you have to figure out the ad. Yeah, filming the ads.
We have a third-party marketing company that. Helps us.
And those come and go.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And then, but I think this mastermind is going to be. I'm so excited about it, and the beautiful thing is I would not have thought of this had we not been struggling. So it's to look at the beauty and kind of the pain. It's been very stressful, very horrible. Luckily, I have the other companies that make money, but the pride, ego, and the people a part of the Fast Freedom team, I want that company to do well.
Yeah.
So I think this switch over to this mastermind of social media people, because how many people, I'm asking you, all right, so if there was a mastermind for social media, you see the value of it, your ads are better, people recognize your face, you can get organic signups, you can push people towards affiliates, you can raise money, you can get deals. Having a big organic audience is not bad.
Obviously, that's great.
So, and everybody's down right now, but what if we had a collaboration of people in the industry that had a certain amount of followers that had a couple weekly meetings that were ran by me, because I have a pretty big social media following. I understand a lot of.
It sounds like an education company.
No, but it's going to be like Collect Geniuses.
Yeah.
So that's member led. It's going to be the same thing. So I'll kind of help lead it at first, I feel like, but then it's going to be.
Is that another distraction from like the roofing thing though?
Because I think it can be like I think I can get 50 people paying $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
That's $600,000 business with no ad spend, nothing. It's my time. But then that will give Fast Freedom some breathing room. I think I can get $500,000 to $1 million net doing this plan. I own the building. I own that space. They come here twice a year, centrally located.
I think for cash it's great. But I want my pushback. Let me give you my pushback.
I'm good with it.
Yeah.
The social authority, by the way, is what we're going to call it. I think it's a cool name.
Social authority. I think that's great. What I've seen, in social media and being in education is just like, it to me sounds like another education company, which is great. And I'm not saying it's bad, and this might not be relevant to the audience.
It's okay.
To the audience, this is a great idea.
At this point, they're going to still listen.
Yeah.
The stats. If they're listening now, they're going to continue.
Yeah. So, and it could be learning if they're smart enough to read between the lines, but to me, it seems like it's just a new product on education, which will produce more cash, which is great. Obviously, that's great. But for you as an entrepreneur, is it a distraction from going after the big thing?
So potentially, but the point is, we're at the point, being honest with you, Fast Freedom can't survive on selling a 10K product with a VSL and a webinar and maybe a 3-day
you're trying to revive that business.
Yes.
I get that.
I'm not going to stop posting on social media.
Yeah.
I've seen the power of it, the branding of it, the doing it. So I also, and I love your feedback, but I also think that social media would be easier. If we have 50, 100 people in there that this post went viral, let's all look at why, let's chat, let's have conversations about it, and then learn their funnels.
I've ran a creator education company before.
Yeah, you guys have one, yeah.
Yeah, we had one, yeah.
So that was teaching newbies.
No? There was some experience, and then there was newbie.
This is going to be, you come to twice a year to St. Louis. You're presenting what's working for you.
I think it's going to be great. I think again for clientele,
then I think it can be somewhat sustainable, and then I think if someone help run it.
I don't think so, honestly. I'm not going to lie.
Why not?
Because it's always going to be relying on you. Why would anyone come here if it wasn't for you?
Because, people don't go to CG for Jason Medley anymore. They did it first, but now they go for the community that they've built.
Yeah. And then I also feel like people on social media have big egos, and once they start popping, they're just like, I don't like.
Well, we could see that, but I'm gonna talk to her before they join, and it's like this is not gonna be you can't repeat my content, because so many people do I'm in this much debt, or walk down the stairs one shoe, and all the shit that I've done. This isn't like, oh, we can't do that. It's like, oh, you want to do my video? Well, here's the secret. So we're going to try to build that culture. And then the Family Mastermind, people don't go there for Matt Andrews. They go there for the. So anyways, I think it's great. And what I'm asking you is that going to distract from the $100 million thing because you're just trying to fix a problem with low hanging fruit? Yes,
That's what it sounds
potentially. So I work like 75 hours a week.
Yeah.
I love it. I don't golf as much as I want to. I hang out with my family and I grow my companies, and that's enough for me. So
Yeah.
I like working. I like joining. I like struggling. I like winning. I like losing. I like figuring it all out. So I'm spending 90% of my time on Faster Freedom.
Yeah.
Like, I think that I can get this thing off the ground and be able to spend 50% of my time on it. And I think it will free up more time. I'm not saying this is all going to work out and all your points are valid, but I do think that I will be able to, 30 hours a week's a lot. I think I can spend 30 hours a week on this, be very involved, help it
30
grow.
hours a week?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
On
so
this.
that is completely going to take away from you being able to do roofing.
Right now it's 68 of my 75 hours are spent on Faster Freedom.
Really?
Yes.
God damn, why?
Because we're trying to figure it out, because I'm posting on, because I'm trying to do all these things.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Why don't you do the roof thing right now, and then why are you doing commercial roof and not just general residential roofing?
So what the roofing company is it's a newer product. Did you see the bridge when you came across?
Yeah.
You see how half is shut down?
Yeah.
Because they paint half it. They sealed it so they wouldn't have to replace it. You're able to get more life out of it. It's that same type of product, and it goes on metal roofs. So it's a
new product, yeah.
It's a 65% profit margin. You charge $5 a square foot to install this, or to put the seal on top of the roof.
Yeah.
A new roof is $15 to $20 a square foot.
Yeah.
You have to tear the roof off, a new roof. You have to shut down the business if the roof is off. You have to throw it all in the trash dumpster, and it costs 5 times as much. This 20-year warranty. It saves you money on heating and cooling.
I get the product. I get the product's great.
But the point is, you can't do that on a residential.
But why are you choosing that business model? I get the product's great.
Okay.
But like,
Because
why are you?
I think it's a growing business, and I think it could be a $100 million business in 5 years.
Okay.
Because
so you're just saying, like, in your head, the business is potentially
like
bigger
growing
exit.
businesses. I honestly don't care if it's education, if it's buying houses, if it's laundry. I like growing businesses, growing teams, figuring things out. So it doesn't. The business doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. Some of the richest people I've ever met in real estate. In my real estate career, they come from construction.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They had a huge construction company and they sold it. Mm-hmm. Like some of the richest people that I've ever met.
A lot of people. I mean, shoot, Pace was in construction. And so a lot of people come from that space. So the reason we got to, because one of my students is doing it.
Yeah.
And he's like, one of my buddies did it, and he grew and he scaled the wrong way and then went out of business. I'm doing it slowly, and I want to scale the right way.
Yeah.
So he's willing to bring us in and have him guide him. He does the actual work, the bidding. He's got the contractors. He's got the connection with the supplier. He just wants us to help manage it, do marketing, and grow it and scale it. So it needs 20 hours a week from me. Hours a week from me.
So why
I'm
are
trying
you
to
not?
have it all.
So why are you not just going all in on the roof thing?
Because that company would go out of business if I did.
Okay, got it.
We got people and employees. And
Got it. Okay, that's the only reason.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, got it. It's tough. Yeah, we've
education's a tough freaking business.
It is.
I made more money than I thought I'd ever make, and it was easier than I never thought it'd be. And now that we're more dialed in, we have more systems, more processes, the better team, KPIs, we track everything to the T. We're not making any freaking money, and that's part of business. But if I knew what I knew now, 3 years ago, we would have made triple the money. But it's driven by the industry and driven by the market, and that sucks right now.
Yeah. So what do you? Okay, let's stay on education. Even though, thank you for everyone that's listening, and I appreciate you guys, and I hope you guys are learning from this, and I hope you guys, and I hope you guys apply this to real estate, but like. Or your own career, because
I think a lot of this stuff is bigger.
It is huge. Mm-hmm. Like my biggest successes in my life were when I was willing to give something up for exchange for something else. Mm-hmm. For example, I was a realtor. I was making $500K a year, but I was like, dude, I have to give this up to make 7 figures as a house flipper. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, okay, like, education's a big opportunity. What's the ceiling? I think it's like, for me, 2 million. I got to give up this to do that. Mm-hmm. And now, and then I did the opposite. So what do you predict is going to happen in the next year or two for your education company?
My prediction is we are going to go away from this $10,000 model
High
that
ticket.
gets people that can't quite afford it. Some people that can, they want you to hold their
Yeah.
hand. They want you everything for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And get
The market shifted,
and
yeah.
get into this mastermind model,
A
and then
recurring.
potentially, and then,
You're trying to go low ticket recurring.
mastermind would be $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
And then the taking advantage of my following, I feel like I need to provide them value. And I mean,
Yeah.
social media is down right now. I got 25 million views last month, so
Yeah.
I'm getting 25 to 30
That's a
million
lot.
views a month still.
Yeah.
So I don't want to lose that audience. I worked so hard to get it. I didn't pay for anything. I posted everything. My thumbs still don't work because of how much editing and things I've done to get that
Yeah.
following. So I want to do a community, like a $70 community that you can get and be part of. And there's no involvement. It's like, it's bigger pockets. It's community, it's resources, it's affiliates I get money from. It's better than them doing it on their own, but it's not coaching. We're not going to hold your hand. There's not 12 coaching calls a week. There's not us underwriting the deals for you.
Yeah.
It's just a place for them, somebody to go. They're willing to spend half what they spend on coffee a month just to be a part of it, and it won't make money until it scales, and then we get the affiliate side of it. So go here, no touch, low ticket, high affiliate, to a mastermind feel, and helping other people, and I think a high ticket mastermind is $12,000 a year to be a part of it. I'll probably jump the price up a little bit more, and then I think we just get steady, predictable income, and then I think focus on, because I think the education is going to boom in 2026. I think all the stuff going on, who knows all the stuff that Trump's doing. Some of it's good, some of it's bad. Regardless, I think interest rates are going to go down, and I think real estate's going to pop again. We've been flatlined on median value for 3 years.
Yeah,
that's happened twice. It happened in 11, 12, 13. What happened? Boom. It happened in 18, 19, 20. What happened? Boom. I know COVID, but it still happened. So I think we're getting ready to boom again, and I think that's going to bring a ton of people in. So I think people are going to start watching content again about real estate, and it's going to blow. So I don't want to give up that just because it's hard.
Yeah, I get that. What about let's talk about partnerships, right? And your focus and your schedule. What does your schedule look like? And what are the benefits and the cons of having a business partnership?
Yeah. So my schedule is pretty packed, like most people's listening. I focus on a couple companies. Lucas focuses on a couple companies. So I could have 100% of 2 companies, or I could have 50% of 6 companies. So we call it dividing and conquering. Lucas has been my friend since middle school. We've been in bar fights in college. We've gotten in fights with each other. We've been through a ton of things. And I look at it as very few people do it all on their own.
Yeah.
Like, people think of somebody that owns a company, they probably had a partner that was silent, or a partner that wasn't silent. And all these people that own these NBA teams, NFL teams, they're all owned by 100 people. There's just one that owns the majority of it. So I'm looking at it as that model of trying to do more and have less stress, and have somebody else that I trust and is qualified to help grow their business while I grow my business, and together we'll do more together. So it's just kind of a collaborative thing. I'd rather collaborate than compete. Got it.
Okay, that's smart. Anything else you think we should cover?
Whatever. It's your podcast. We talked about most stuff. Screw you, Dave Ramsey.
You're against Dave Ramsey?
He called me a liar on his show, so I can.
Oh, really?
I can say
How long ago was that?
A couple years ago.
Okay.
Back when social media was doing good.
You keep going back like that.
Back, it's a cool thing. Back when I would get stopped at the store all the time because social media was going so much.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen very often.
Yeah. What about so how are you balancing running businesses, social media, and your family and your faith? Because I've been struggling a little bit on the faith side, because being not in my hometown, I'm okay, I don't have a church, and I'm not in my normal routine. So how are you balancing all those things?
Yeah, so my biggest thing is I don't have a ton. We talked a little bit about it earlier. I don't have a ton of hobbies. So I would like to golf more. I just don't. I haven't figured out how to build it into my business model like you and Ryan kind of have. And so I don't go on vacation a ton. So I don't feel like I'm good enough entrepreneur, husband, or Christian to be able to have a million hobbies. So I just focus on those things, and that's what I sleep 6-7 hours a night. The rest of my 18 hours a day are on my family, on my faith, on my business, and that's all I focus on. Our church here, if you're here, you could go on Sunday, but they're bought some land, trying to build a new campus, and somebody just came to them about selling them the building they're in now because they're renting it. I'm trying to help them figure out how to buy it and do creative financing. So I'm involved as much as I can be there. When I'm home, I'm home, and then when I'm here, I'm here. So I feel like I have 3 plates I'm trying to spin, and I can do a pretty good job spinning 3 plates, I would suck at spinning 5 or 6. So I just focus on I make my priorities, and I get enough joy. The fulfillment you get out of golfing, the fulfillment somebody gets out of going on vacation, I get that same fulfillment out of those 3 things. So I don't need an escape. I don't need to go do something else.
Yeah.
My escape is those 3 things.
Does your wife like to go on vacations, or she's cool with like
she's
the
a homebody too? Like we go on vacations a couple times a year, but not a ton. Like every year we go to Florida. I rent a house. I rent a house on the beach, and we tell our families they can come if they want. Like her parents, my parents, they come if they want. They stay for a few days, and so we do a few things like that, but not a ton.
Yeah. So you're pretty much willing to give up hobbies for the ability to focus on business and your family and your faith.
Yep. So those are my hobbies. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel like sometimes like I'm like, am I spending too much time on money? And then I'm like, sometimes I'm like, am I saying that I don't love money, but my actions don't reflect that?
Yeah. The love of money is obviously wanting to grow and do things is not bad, but if you let money take over, like A, it's not good. B, if money is the only thing that makes you happy, you don't have money, you're not going to be happy.
Yeah.
Right. So that's because money's fleeting. It goes in and out. So I'm not too hard on myself about that because I like to make money. I want to make money. The more money I make, the more I can impact. We're trying to build a church. We need $1.7 million for the down payment. If I can make a lot of money, I can help out with that a lot. So I just look at it as I know I'm going to do good things with the money. So and I enjoy it. And maybe that's too materialistic, but guess what? I'm not perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
How much, how do you decipher how much to give and then?
Yeah. So I have a certain amount that just gets auto-debited every 2 weeks from my account that goes to the church. It goes to the new building fund, and then if things are going really well, I can
give above
and beyond. And we went at the church service. It was probably been a year ago. It was I forget the name of the company, but it's sponsoring kids over in Africa, and it's $50 a month to sponsor a kid to get. And everybody was like doing you fill out a form, you want to sponsor 1-2 kids, and I asked my daughter how much she wanted to sponsor. She's like, let's do 10 kids. Okay, so we did 10, and the church did 80, and we were 10 of them, and it's just cool to be able to do that kind of stuff. Like, okay, we're sponsoring 10 kids every month for the rest of however long we're doing that. So I try to look at money as a way to do nice, to live well, be healthy, but also help people.
Yeah.
It does not always the church. We have a nonprofit, Greater Giving here. All of our companies donate 2% of our profit to. We've raised over $1 million for mental health, wellness in St. Louis, and 2% of my profit for all my companies goes there every month. Plus I donate to it. Plus we do events. Then our team that we pay to go do the events. So we're helping out and help giving back. Not perfect, but we're trying.
Yeah. I noticed and I've been around a lot of people, right? I've been around everyone you could think of. You're one of the most caring for other people. You do a lot of things for other people. It's not very self-centered.
Yes, I try not to be. Yeah, I feel like I'm selectively competitive, and I really try to not have an ego.
That
is a big thing I try to do.
Yeah. What have you seen? What have you seen is the difference between the people that can have a medium-sized business, let's say they do $1 million or 500 to $1 million, and then the people that break into the the $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 million. I
think it's the team that they bring on. I think it's bringing on talented people, being willing to pay people $200,000, $250,000, and not letting your ego be like, well, you should be making $150, not $250. I should be making that other $100.
Yeah.
Being willing to have your team get paid very, very handsomely, to retain them, to retain talent. I feel like a lot of people's egos get in the way. They're like, I need to make this much, so you only get to make that much, rather than, hey, you get to make a lot, and it'll eventually trickle down to me.
Yeah. That's what you see as the biggest thing.
I know so many people that want to do it all themselves, whether it's fear of hiring, whether it's their ego. They're doing too many things to be successful in business, and they have to attend every little thing and be a part of every part of the business that they just burns them out, or they aren't able to grow. Those that can say, well, you're probably better than me at sales.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you do sales. You're probably a better leader than me, so I'm going to let you lead the meetings.
Yeah.
Like the people that are willing to give up some responsibility, I feel like are the people that are able to grow and scale. And then it's just having the nuts to do it.
Yeah. Because, like, for me, right, I think I'm great at that, where, like, my COO runs everything. I'm willing to pay people. I want everyone to make six figures or more and all that stuff. Sometimes it gets to a point where, like, all right, guys, like, you know, I can't pay you everything, because then we can't grow. I can't spend more. So I'm trying to figure out with my business, do I want to go the new Western route where, as I have my COO in SoCal, hire a COO in St. Louis and build the whole thing, hire a COO in whatever, Las Vegas, build the whole thing
Kentucky?
there. Yeah, exactly.
Southern Indiana.
Yeah, Southern Indiana, yeah. I'm debating rather doing that model, or bring in maybe like a Dispo COO for SoCal, and just going super hard on Dispo, you know, JVs and all that stuff. I don't know. I'm kind of torn in between which business model.
Southern, I mean, I usually would think that everything we do is here in St. Louis, so I like the going deeper, not wider, but SoCal is a scarier market than most, I feel like, because of the swings you get, right? I mean, you guys probably were up 30-40%, right?
Yeah.
And then now you're
So
that
but I wouldn't scale flipping in Southern California.
Okay.
It's too risky.
It's
like you can make a bunch of money and then 2 years literally lose it all.
So what market in Southern California are you?
Like Riverside,
Okay.
San Bernardino.
Okay.
Yeah, IE.
So not San Diego.
No.
Okay, yeah. That's a wild market.
Yeah. So what do you think? And this is wholesale. This is going to be wholesale. And then I also want to buy rentals, but I can't in Southern California.
I don't obviously have all the information. Just from what you said, I would try to just pick a couple markets. I wouldn't try to go too crazy. Pick a market that you want to buy rentals in, create a system there to wholesale in, and keep rentals in. Just have 2 or 3 markets. Do your Southern California thing, do your KC St. Louis thing, and then do your Indiana thing. Be spread out 3 markets. I don't feel like you should do the New Western thing and be in 40 markets or whatever.
But you think it's okay to go into different markets and have different COOs?
I do.
Okay.
I have a COO they're all here in the building, but the COO that runs each of my companies, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you think we should cover?
Screw you, Dave Ramsey.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. If people want to get coached by you, where do they go?
I just go to faststream.com or hit me up on Instagram.
There we go. All right, guys. Peace.